Hey there, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's downtown. And yeah, uh, come check us out. Lots of fun things to do. I'm so excited about next weekend. Uh, Friday, right? Uh, Two concerts. One of them is going to be, well, I've already seen her, but I'll be seeing her again at the Red River Rebel. And oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm drawing a blank on her name. Um, Pam Tillis. And how I remembered that name was I went all the way back to Mel Tillis, the father. You know, he was the Cannonball Run. It's where I know him from, you know, and he had the stutter. She does a dead-on imitation of him. I know because my sister and I went to see him in concert, went to see her in concert, and she was referencing her father, her memories of her father. And it was very sweet, you know. But yeah, I'm going to be excited to see what she's got going on. She's going to be putting on maybe a show that lasts she's going to start at about 8:30 and it's going to go to about 9:30, 9:45. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to have to listen to that concert and then I'm going to have to book it in Hall S because I've got tickets for Rocky Horror Picture Show. The doors open. Oh, you know what? I'm out walking around, burning calories. What the fuck? Let's go check it out. Hot rods. Actually, it's a Sunday. Nothing's really going on down here on a Sunday. Maybe there's some clubs or whatever, but I'm not out clubbing. I'm out fitness walking. I'm determined to be in a good shape. But anyway, yeah, we are. Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's actually kind of cool. It's at the old Capri Theater. That's what we're walking over to look at. And I talked about this in another video that I did when I was coming home. So if you've already heard this, it's redundant. But it was a movie theater. And then the movie theater turned into a club, like a nightclub or something like that. And then for a while, maybe, I don't know if it turned into the adult movie theater first or the club first. But anyway, we used to have this couple of locations of adult movie theaters because in the 70s, you remember, it was big business. On the low key, it was kind of a posh thing to go see like an adult movie. The two big ones were, and I didn't go see them, I was a little kid then. The two big ones were Deep Throat, and then on the male side of things, and it got wide release, and it was a gay movie called Boys in the Sand. I've seen both of them on video, but yeah, but anyway, but they were hardcore, but they were very, it was for the sake of, you know, in your face with censorship kind of stuff. There was almost a political purpose to it. And what they, you know, now there's not really a point to adult movies or adult videos. They're not even movies, they're like videos or something. You know, we've all seen them, you know, whatever. But there's no real point to it. But anyway, yeah, but that's what the Gingers was. Well, the Gingers Theater sold out, closed down at a couple of locations, became the Capri Theater, which is the name of this theater. And then after a while, it just closed down and remained closed down for a long time. And I guess now they're using it for special events. So yay. And one of them is Rocky Horror. There's the picture. And yeah, they've got like snacks and concessions and everything too. Look at me being a peeker, a window peeker. So sorry. Why? Oh, no. Somebody has come along and opened this. Blew back my ass away. Okay, so there's a secret part of me that wants that Rocky Horror Picture Show poster, but I am an honest person. I'm not a thief, so I'm just gonna walk my little ass away down to the river where I was going in the first place. You know, hey, trains are good luck. That's a good omen. Telling me that's a good decision. I had to follow this little thing inside of my gut. I've got, I've got this thing, this condition, whatever, this state of being, really, not really a condition, but a state of being or whatever. And it makes me, a little overly nervous and paranoid sometimes. Sometimes it serves me, like to get the hell away from something that has nothing to do with me. And that back there, definitely. But also, look, because I want to avoid having to deal with this. This is the courthouse, and you know, where they have jail at the very top. Where? See that light way the hell up there? Huh. There are prisoners up there, and that's their bright lights. Yep. When I was a cosmetology student, I had this friend, Jane. She since has been married and divorced, but not to this guy. But he was a federal prisoner, and he was being held. Not here. I'm sorry, it wasn't here. It was around the corner at the federal courthouse, and we wanted justice to be served. She asked me if I could do anything to help him, you know, and I was like, you know, the only thing I'm really gonna feel comfortable doing, if I say any prayers or render any blessings or anything like that, is maybe something that can ensure that fair justice happens. I wouldn't ever pray or do anything or even want anything other than that in any situation. Fairness and leniency and compassion in a judgment, even sometimes against those who others may feel like they don't deserve compassion. Even in administering justice, our justice should be about trying to create as much balance as possible. It should be about compassion. As much as it should be about punishment, punishment should be for the purpose of rehabilitation. And there should be some rehabilitation. One of the big things that happens in our justice systems, and I'm so glad that I had all my issues when I was like, you know, a teen adult and early 20s and stuff like that. What happens so very often is that there's no real rehabilitation in a lot of cases and in a lot of systems. You know, and I can say this from the very early 1990s. I don't know what it's like now. I realize that there are some people serving life sentences without parole, and sometimes they're on the deathbed and stuff like that. And so, you know, those are the most extreme cases. But for most people, if you think that there's a possibility that a prisoner is ever going to be on the street again in that sort of way, at least when they get close to the end of their sentencing, and probably we could do a lot to discourage prison violence and things like that if we were to get started on the rehabilitation upon commencement of the penalty, whatever it is, if it's imprisonment or something like that. The rehabilitation should start then. But really, you can't just take somebody who's flawed, socially flawed, in a way that is criminal, and then warehouse them basically, and I don't know, in a few years, without any sort of real anything, turn them loose because there's a whole shell shocking thing. It's like what happens when people go to war. We saw this a lot. I think we started hearing about this at the end of Korea and Vietnam or whatever was when we started hearing about it. But also when some of the Middle Eastern wars and everything like that, people coming back with without proper follow through, just being suddenly turned loose and released or whatever. And I know that well, that can also happen. It can happen with people who hot rods. You definitely want to. It's so weird because it's like Sunday. What the hell's going on? They're probably hot rodding or whatever because they know nobody's out here. And sometimes they gather on the parkway. This street here, they all kind of merge and become like on the parkway, the Clyde Vamp Parkway. And sometimes late at night or whatever, some kids will get there. You know how you used to gather and sometimes race and all that. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't mean to make light of it. One of my cousins, about a year or so ago, died at that location. I think what it is like it was just a freak accident, goofishness or whatever. I don't mean to be insensitive. But yeah. And he was someone that I really didn't know or hadn't known in a long time. We have a big family, but still. But they do gather at that parkway and smoke and race and stuff like that, so. But also, not a lot. And it's about 3 miles up, so maybe that car wasn't related to that at all. Maybe it was just a guy being weird. Anyway. That's about the most excitement that I've had in a while. If I hadn't walked over to look at the Capri. But I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, back to my original thing. I will circle back. As I circle back. Okay, busy week coming up. The 26th, Pam Tillis. Then run over, look at Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then on the 28th is when we're leaving to go down to New Orleans. And yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of walking around that night. I think I pretty much am just like my friend and a traveling companion, they are gonna stay in a room, and I was invited to stay in the room, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to spend the night out just kind of like reminiscing with my favorite points in the city. It's New Orleans, right? And I'm going to walk around and take videos and, nothing salacious or anything like that. Just, some of my favorite night spots and everything like that. And basically, just kind of like, and when I get done with that, then I'll meet up with my friends. But I think that's really what I want to do. And then basically look up some old friends, while I'm down there, and just meet up with my my cabin mate, who I'm sharing the cabin with on the cruise, and I think, spend about 5 or 6 days. I think it's like 5 nights. And we get that 6th morning, so we'll get that final breakfast, and then we'll be heading back, and it will be into October by then, and it's going to be really, really fun. So, yeah. I think, yeah. Cool. Yeah, there's only 2 beds in the room, and I'm not really good for sleeping in the bed with someone or whatever. So that's kind of like, I'm just gonna take the opportunity to have some fun, you know. And what's cool about New Orleans is it just does not sleep. You know, this could be Monday. You know, I can go to like I can go see some people at Checkpoint Charlie's, which was this club I used to hang out at. If Siberia is still there, they used to play Siberian grunge metal. You know, I think these are like scenes that I'm gonna be the only one of the party that ever really gets in, that really ever got into. Some people down there that I haven't seen in a few years from my 12-step fellowship that I used to go to down there. I can look them up and see what's going on. Yeah, just cool. And obviously, you know my sleep. You guys follow me, right? If you do, you know that I'm like, hey, a very nocturnal person, and I really wouldn't want to be responsible for keeping the other two people awake all night long. You know? And I would. If I'm trying to share a bed with somebody, even just a casual bed thing, I'm going to be up and down all night long. So, yeah. And I don't really know one of the people. These are not people that I'm sharing the room with on the boat. It's just people that we're traveling with on the way down there. And it's like, yeah, just, you know, I'm a peculiar person. And one of the things that I don't do is I don't sleep in a hotel room with someone that I don't know when I'm going to have with me my ID, my social security card, my birth certificate, my entire life, you know, you know, and I don't, you know. And my other friend's so cool. He's like, well, I played games with her on the mobile device for like 6 years. You know, playing games remotely, it's not really a good reference. Like, if you, yeah. So, my friend is a good judge of character. That's not the point. But I have a few weird little variables. Do you remember when I talked about when I was at the Capri Theaters back there, and that glass was open, and I said I've got to listen to that thing in my stomach that tells me that something feels off, and I really need to listen to that because sometimes it serves me well. Sometimes it's kind of like, sometimes it's like I've got that gut drop feeling for no real reason at all. Like, there's no real imminent like reason for concern or nervousness or anything like that, and it's just an overreaction. But there's the occasional time when it's a good idea to listen to that gut, you know. So I don't know. I gotta do what's right for me. That's cool. It's still gonna be a fun trip though. But yeah. So yeah, we're gonna like the person's coming in. We're gonna pick them up. We're going down on the 28th. We're gonna meet I guess that person. She's flying in on the 28th to Baton Rouge, and we're gonna pick her up and then go to New Orleans and then do what we got to do and check in and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really not staying in the room with someone that I just meet. I don't really. It'd be one thing if it was a whole different, like if it was a whole group of people and maybe like I was really more involved with that. But that's cool. But I don't know, just something feels too many changes to the agenda have been made really like I didn't know this at all until like a couple of hours ago. Like maybe about 9:30 p.m. on that Sunday. I was coming, so it was like, yeah. So this is fresh information for me, and because it's so, I don't know. But that is cool. I am a person who always has a contingency. And whenever I need to think things through, I've always got the river. What's going to be cool about this cruise that I'm taking is for a few hours, I'm going to be on the Mississippi River. For a few hours, we leave New Orleans, and it's a slower, navigating through the delta of the Mississippi. That's what I've been told, to get to the ocean. So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to get a little bit of a riverboat cruise and be able to get to the ocean. And I think we cruise that first night. There may be a night at sea and then the first port, and then another day at sea and then the second port, and then I don't know. It's 2 days at sea. I don't know which one comes first. But anyway, I'm excited for it. Nothing's going to dampen that. And, for a long time, and quite a few times, New Orleans has been a second home. So I'm going to take the opportunity to revisit and reacquaint. And, yeah. I love kind of, I love to do things. I think I've been single for a very long time. And one of the things that I like to do when I'm visiting someplace is I like to do a little bit of exploring. And I'm certainly going to be able to do that again in February. I have another trip coming up. And then after that, I think I'm going to scale back from big expense vacations. And by that, I don't mean like mega expenses, but I'm just going to scale back, and I'm going to work on nest egging. I've said that before. Well, I want to take a little bit of money and I want to set aside a nest egg in case of emergency, so that's cool. That's a lit. After 12 o'clock, the patterns of the bridge and everything like that, after midnight, they turn the bridges off. And occasionally there's a problem with the programming because they reprogram the patterns of the lights like every month or so. And the only time they don't is in the event of, sometime when they're going to let it stay, when they're going to let it, like I think the 4th of July, they let those designs stay up for an extra month or something like that. But anyway, whenever they program it, sometimes they program with the glitch or something like that. And this may be one of these things where that little cluster of lights are staying on all the time when the rest of the bridge is out. But anyway, it's cool. I love coming down here, right? It's a Sunday night. Well, now it's a Monday morning. And what am I doing? I tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not smoking a fucking cigarette. Because when I say I'm going to quit smoking. And I'm quit smoking specifically because I didn't want to walk around this cruise, this boat, 15 decks for the one, let's see, some people. So I didn't want to walk around the deck of this cruise looking for like the one or two designated smoking areas on this great big giant hotel floating on the water. I didn't want to be that dependent upon. I talked about I didn't want to be controlled by nicotine and everything like that. But I also don't want to be, I just didn't want that to be a reason why I would not have enjoyment on this thing. So oh, yeah, I gotta get a manicure sometime soon. Hopefully before the trip, but if not, when I come right back. But sometimes what should be simple and what should be a done deal, it does require some flexibility and some creativity and resourcefulness. And anyone who knows me knows that yes, I'm a little bit thrown off, a little bit crazy, but I'm definitely resourceful. Probably just a little bonkers still from just so recently not smoking. Don't let this scare you. If you've been on the fence and you've thought about not smoking, well, I'd love to tell you that it's all going to work out. All I can tell you is that I have given up other vices and I've been successful. And even when it comes to healthier dieting, I've been at least full in some amount of moderation, even though I do give myself some slack. Fortunately, a diet, you do need that. The things that you're supposed to give up when you're trying to diet, fats and sugars and stuff like that, every once in a while, you do need some of that dietarily, So, yay. I love, I don't know, do you remember that song in the 80s, The Freaks Come Out at Night? I forget who sang it, but it was like it was a, kind of like a soul dance kind of thing, I don't know. Also, you know what I love about New Orleans? Is that it actually has a vibrant nightlife, and that's kind of cool. Things had kind of slowed down a little bit when I lived there before, but yeah, that's cool. Really do love coming down here, and there are people that come down here. That I'm hoping that little bit of something that I just touched was a bit of rain here or there. It's a bit of, I think it is. God, I hope not. uh, Whatever. It's okay. I brought, let's see. There we go. Okay, cool. I had a napkin in my pocket that I can like, but yeah, right here, this finger right there. It's like, hey. Okay, let me walk somewhere into some light so that you can see me. I reached over and touched the railing, and my hand touched some moisture that I wasn't, that I wasn't expecting. So it was like, oh my God. I hope somebody didn't like try to spit over the edge and miss or something. Oh, you know what? Let me walk you up to here. Seems my bravado. Let me jump. Okay, cool. Yeah. When I was like a little kid, I would jump from like the roof of a one-story house onto a yard or something like that, or I would say I was a lot more brave. But that's also I also got a lot more injured from straight up stupidity. My goal is to step up here, taking a shortcut to walk across the street so I can walk through a little bit of Festival Plaza and explore where at the end of the week the Red River Revel is going to be. And hopefully to wear myself out so that when I get back, I can not smoke. I'm definitely determined not to smoke. And I'm not having like any sort of like cravings or anything like that. What you want to do if you're giving up a vice, you want to replace it with an activity. You can't just take something away without putting something in its place. Okay? So if it's a vice, a habit, something that you want to give up, a key thing is that you need to have something to go in its place. I thought about starting another painting, but I'm going to be going away in about 5 or 6 days. I'm not going to have time to like do a good painting in that time. And I don't want to get, I don't know. I don't want the activity that I do or use or whatever. I don't want it to be, hey, just something to fill the time, to a distraction from the fact that I've stopped smoking. I don't want it to be just a place marker. I want to exchange the bad habit for something that's good. I want it to be, pretty. I want it to be like, I don't know. If I'm going to replace it, it may as well be with something that's healthy and enriching in some sort of way. Now, those things are pretty much relative to the person, and that's kind of cool too. One of the things, it's a really great idea to be healthy. And to do the occasional exercise or something like that, or there's a friend of mine used to say, hey, if you're sitting at home and you don't have anything to do and you're bored, I don't know, clean the house, like do something productive with time that's gonna, and you know what, you're not really doing anything anyway. If you're not having a great time, you may as well do some sort of chore and don't waste the bad mood. I had another friend, this is back when I used to drink and party, and I don't anymore, but I don't know how he did it. He used to say that he never called in hungover or sick or anything. He said never waste a day off on a hangover. We were all like working in restaurants and everything like that. So, but yeah, that's an interesting philosophy. Doesn't really apply anymore. Specific because I don't have hangovers, but yeah, why waste some time on being like, off-centered or something like that, when I could be doing something that's productive with it, chores around the house or something, and then when it's time for the fun, good time, when I'm feeling good and I can and I'm in the mood for having a good time, hey, the chores are done, so my time is my own to have the good time with. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So, you guys, have you ever seen like Rocky Horror Picture Show? I know that you probably have seen it a zillion times, but seeing it in a theater setting where it's really kind of fun, where people do the callback and responses and everything, and shadow casting or whatever. I was asked to shadow cast once. The guy was doing his a dinner theater. It wasn't like a proper theater, it was dinner theater, and I'm not even sure if he had license to show the movie in this restaurant, but he did. And then we shadow casted, and I was riffraff, but and then there was like, and I agreed to do the one time, and then at the end of it, he was like, and we're gonna have like, we're gonna do other performances. And I'm like, oh, whoa, no, no. This is a one-time thing for me, just, I like to know what's up. I want to be flexible, but I kind of want to know what's up. There's a car coming here. What's he doing? Okay, good. He's turning. Cool. There's a couple of crosswalks here in front of this casino behind me, so you really do, because it's late night and there are clubs and people do drink and drive. It is the world we live in. Sometimes you really do have to be careful before stepping into traffic. This used to be quite a busy place. It's Sunday. This place is a restaurant. This place is new. I haven't been there yet. There are a lot of places down here that let's see. It used to be a coffee, and they used to have like slam poetry. You can't really split it, but no, it's the G Spot. It one of the places that's been opened up by G Unit Studios since they've been here, so that's kind of cool. Some of the murals are interesting. I've talked about them walking through here before. Then there's these handprints and everything, kind of our walk of fame, and I think I've even, like, Johnny Cochran, right? He's actually from here. So that's why he's relevant. I knew her. Todd Miller. She was a bodybuilder, and Todd Miller was her fiance at the time, and I guess they married Jim Reeves. Anyway, and Todd Miller was my personal trainer for a while in my early 20s. Hank Williams, of course. And if we couldn't get their handprints, we at least gave them a star or whatever, you know. Who's it? Merle. Oh, hi. I can walk around doing this thing, run into people and say hello and everything like that. And it's, you know, it's very, I feel very secure and safe in my downtown home, my downtown Shreveport. And, you know, have a lot of fun, talk a lot of weirdness, entertain myself a lot. Let's see. But I am running out of things to talk about right now. But, let's see. What to do. I've already had dinner, but it was a light dinner, just one sandwich. On this diet, what I'm getting ready for is I want to do the best that I can before I go on this cruise, because it's not the top rated of the cruise lines, but it is one of the top rated as far as food goes. And I'm told it's really something, you know. And I don't want to be on vacation and have to worry about my diet. Whew. What am I doing now? Just waiting to make sure it's safe to cross, and it is. You know, if you're in any sort of red light situation, red light district, or do they still have those? Where there are clubs and people driving and having a good time and everything. Even though I'm a pedestrian and I have the right of way, I think it's a good idea for me to like stop before I just step into traffic, right? So I don't know. Like I'm randomly talking about the most known things possible, just blatantly just talking about things. But look at me burning calories, right? Which is a good thing, because come next week I'm going to put them on, you know. Yeah, people drive stupid when it's late at night and they don't think much is going on. They will just be like, you should have seen the streets here in Shreveport. I'm sure you must have seen them in your part of the country during the COVID lockdown. And oh my God, you would see the person on the street, like me walking, sure, keeping social distance, but then you'd see that random car just speeding through. I mean, it was just like, fuck a speed limit, you know, and for a minute there, the world lost its mind. It's like, welcome to my world, right? I remember going to buy some groceries, and there was a dude walking around completely in a hazmat suit, head to toe. I mean, he that was when it first started, and there was like, oh, you don't need a mask. And this guy was like, the hell I don't. I need a full body mask, you know. Yeah. Oh no. See, this is bad. Some of the stupidity, they've come down here and knocked some of these things over. Again, I'm walking through. And this was a deliberate, because look, that right there, that's you know, but you know what? If it is an act of vandalism, and if the vandals were not careful, then they are completely screwed, whether they know it or not, because there are cameras all over, including, look, see, cameras, and they're all over. They're all over the poles. They're all the businesses. They are. We're the era of. We don't have like cameras floating around watching people, but there are incentives. All the storefronts and everything like that, if they really want to know what's going on, and all these are apartments and everything like that. So, you know, basically what happens is, yeah, they can identify, and so that's kind of cool, you know. And I'm in support of that. I'm one of the few people, I don't mind the cameras that catch like people running red lights and speeding and stuff like that. And I don't think that's necessarily an invasion of privacy, because I think it's out in the middle of public. So what happens in public is not private, you know. Everybody's got a right to privacy. Keep it private, you know. Those are my thoughts. But yeah. And you don't know. I mean, it could have been, I don't know, some sort of accident. The pot's being turned over. I don't think so. But downtown neighborhood is such a really cool neighborhood, and people really care for it. So in the next day or so, that will have been corrected. And the next time I take my walk, that probably won't even be there, you know. It's just a shame sometimes that people get a little idiotic. You know, realistically, it's not an accident. That's somebody just being stupid. Petty vandalism. But when my friend Rusty lived in town, we used to go walking around in the middle of the night, and we'd go look at some of the old buildings and some of the old graffiti that people had left out. And it was kind of like a hobby of ours to go around and like take pictures of the graffiti, and we were like history of, I don't know, whatever, you know, a zeitgeist of like, this is like the youth of yesterday becoming the next generation. But the you know, they're out there making their little, God, I cannot tell you how much of it revolved around the insane clown posse. Really? I mean, really. Not knocking it, but really? All you ICP fans, please don't Please don't chastise me. I'm not criticizing. I'm wondering. But yeah. And this would have been like from, I don't know. I was just like, everywhere we went, it's like, y'all don't have anything else to spray paint about? Huh. Why was I just stepping over broken glass? What is going on in the city tonight? I think it's time for me to get myself back home. Oh, cute dog behind me in this vehicle. Nice, huge white dog. Huh. Downtown Shreveport, lowest in crime. I've seen evidence that indicate maybe some vandalism happened. I don't know if it was some sort of prank or something, like a rash of pranks or something, but whatever. What are you gonna do? If you guys see this, pray tell. And I was gonna walk over and look at the festival plaza, but I saw that there was some trucks and people setting up and tents and stuff like that. But yeah, so they were already getting prepared for it, but I didn't want to walk through a working area. But it's really fun. You'll see it as I go, like next weekend. And so I'm gonna go home. I don't know. Draw a bath, maybe sit in a tub for a few hours. I love really nice, warm, relaxing baths. I wish that I had like, one of those deep tubs that you can just sit and soak in and everything like that. Those are kind of cool. Okay, so cool. I have calmed myself down with the walk, burned some calories, had a good time. So let me just go ahead, walk over, and get home. But let me go ahead and say that if you've watched this video, thank you for enduring my weirdness. I know this was a weird one. I was in a weird mood, but love and light. God bless. Ciao, Bella.